Hey guys, what is going on? So in today's video, I'm incredibly excited to be reviewing this new pair of Truman boots right here. These are the new Trumans in the all-new Seidel's dark, this is dark Coyote leather. Would you look at those? What an incredible color these have going on. Velvety, smooth, rough out, very luxurious stuff. So, but before we get into that, I'd like to extend a huge thanks to my buddy Mario, who had these routed to me to review before sending them on to him. These are Mario's boots. These are in a size 9.5 double E. So thank you, Mario Boot Reaper, for your contributions to my channel. I couldn't do it without you, my friend. Yeah, so go give Mario a follow on Instagram. He's just as zany and wild about boots as I am. He's also very smart, very insightful, has a lot of experience to offer, both with sizing and different brands that he's tried out. He's tried out more brands than I have. These are going to be Mario's first pair of Truman Upland boots. I've been a big fan of the Truman Upland boot since they released it, mostly because we've got a taller shaft. I actually don't have any Uplands in a cap toe model. My first pair of Uplands were navy waxed flesh Trumans in a plain toe model on the 20 last. Yeah, so I've got those right here. These are absolutely wild, absolutely beautiful. My only mistake with these is I should have opted for 4 speed hooks at the top like Mario did here. You can see for the Uplands you definitely want to opt for speed hooks. I don't know, that's my preference. These, I might have these swapped out for speed hooks just because it is kind of a pain in the butt to lace those up. But you can see the patina on those, absolutely wild. Plain toe model, 20 last. So, but Mario went for, this is going to be the 79 last. Most noteworthy thing about these boots, aside from the leather, is going to be the Truman Eugene sole. Believe it or not, as many Trumans as I own, I don't own any on the Eugene sole. This is their new in-house developed Eugene sole. This was developed by Vince. They named it after Eugene, Oregon, where they relocated to fairly recently. It is an amazing sole, and I'll tell you why. There's a few reasons why I really like it, and I'll read the description here in a second. So I really like the Eugene sole, mainly because they remind me of my Thorogood roofer boots in desert sand. And the reason why the Eugene soles remind me of the Neocork sole here is the reason why flat soles are installed on a lot of roofer boots is because as a work boot you actually want a flat sole outside, that way you're not tracking dirt inside. So there is some grip down here on the heel. The sole itself is flat. Why? It's still grippy, but you don't need a commando sole if you're working construction. You actually want a flat sole. That way you're not carrying debris around like a commando sole would. Now, these Eugene soles are gonna basically do that. Now, they've got this gridlock pattern, and actually KuduSole on YouTube did a really good introduction of the Eugene sole. I will leave a link to that video in the description below. So he sort of introduced the Eugene sole, and yeah, he describes this gridlock pattern on the center bottom portion that comprises the majority of the sole. And then it is smooth around the edges, which is really cool, really good thinking there. It's got Truman Boots raised relief here. It's got another gridlock pattern just in the center. It's not around the edges. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nail holes for extra support. Yeah, I like the center grip without it extending around the perimeter. I think that's pretty smart. And KuduSole actually says he really enjoys walking on these. He says these are super duper grippy and they're just flat enough to where you're not going to be tracking in tons of mud and dirt and rocks. Good luck getting rocks stuck in there and then trying to trek them into the house. It ain't going to happen. And then so let's talk about the rest of the specs. So we've got this Coyote Roughout. This is a military grade leather. And so let me read a little bit about that from Truman's website. We worked with the fine folks at Seidel Leather to develop this unique version of the infamous Coyote Roughout leather. We kept the same military spec waterproof tanning recipe this leather is known for, but we wanted to move the color away from the lighter tan, sometimes greenish color towards a more toasted brown. This take on Coyote Roughout is surprisingly refined in appearance. The soft, low nap on this Roughout is handsome, and light hits this in a way that recalls of fine suedes. I agree. While the leather does have this element of refinement, make no mistake, this leather is as abusable as it gets. Like the lighter Coyote Roughout, you can expect a low-maintenance boot that will scoff at drizzle and deflect damage. And this was available for MTO. I like the way that they describe Coyote Roughout as having like a lighter tan, greenish color. It's true, yeah. I had a pair of Mark Alberts in Coyote Roughout, and they were great. In fact, on my website, dalesleatherworks.com. So yeah, I sell a leather that's quite reminiscent of Coyote Roughout. This is from SB Foot. So this is called Olive Roughout. Very similar stuff, if I'm being honest. It feels the same. It's got a smooth side. The smooth side is on the inside of the leather here, and it's very, very close. And then the Roughout side on the opposite side also is very, very close. So yeah, I'd say that it's very similar to the Roughout from SB Foot. Coyote Roughout, I believe, was also made by Tasman Tannery. So it seems to me a lot of tanners make this particular tannage. It's very interesting. If you've never had Coyote Roughout or a Roughout of this nature before, it's almost got like a rubbery, floppy appearance about it. And yeah, highly, highly waterproof. If you got water on this, it would just bead off. It just forms beads and it just comes off. It's not delicate at all. A lot of people think that because of the highly textured, highly fuzzy nature of the leather on the uppers, that it's going to be a delicate leather, that it's going to scuff easy and stain easy. It is not. It is extremely durable stuff. You can walk through rivers in this. You can get concrete on this. You can get them caked in mud, kick trees, scuff them against tree bark, kick rocks in them, brush them off, and they basically look good as new. Trust me on this. I used to be wary about this as well. There's nothing to be worried about. This is some of the most repellent leather that you're gonna get, period. It's military grade for a reason, and 100% you could rely on these in nature to defend you from the elements. Not to be confusing, but this darker green is called Coyote Mohave leather. Then I have Sedona brown, and I have this olive Roughout. But yeah, Coyote Mohave. This is dark Coyote. And then there's Coyote Roughout, which is very much a straw color. But anyways, if you're interested, and if you have any dark Coyote from Truman, here's what the Coyote Mohave looks like against it, and here is what the Olive Roughout looks like. I think both really work well. Probably I like the Olive Roughout a little better, but actually I think I like them both equally. I think this matches the upper a little bit better than the olive, so if you're going for a nice contrast, that would look good. And then yeah, Sedona brown would also work really well. I don't have any of those stamped out currently, but I have plenty of the hide left. What's also really cool is this is a new set of laces. I've never seen Truman run this type of laces before, but these are going to be round waxed cotton laces. They look very, very nice. Ooh, they're 78 inches long. That's a really good length for an upland model like these. Typically, my rawhides are 72 inches. It's more than I need. 78 inch is gonna go perfectly in these, but I, of course, am a sucker for rawhides. I lace these up with rawhides. Mario, you got a spare set of laces in there. The tongue is going to be a contrasting brown color with Roughout on the inside. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It might be shoulder. Truman typically uses shoulder. So yeah, that's actually a thicker leather on the tongue than Truman typically runs. Okay, so 4 1/4 ounce on the tongue, and then the dark Coyote itself is 5 1/2 ounces. Very thick stuff. So let me read a little bit about this Eugene sole. So the Eugene sole, Truman says, taking notes from historical military soles, we've come up with a lower profile sole, sleek and streamlined, with a texture and composition that provides solid traction. You'll start to see more and more new makeups coming out with these as we move forward this year. We will also be replacing some of the soles on existing makeups with this new sole. We've been working on this for a while, and we're very excited for this upgrade. Yeah, I really look forward to getting some of those Eugene soles for sure. I'm a big fan of flat soles. It looks like they do them in black. Looks like they've got them in brown as well. With most of our boots, we've been moved to using our Truman Commando and Eugene soles. We've received almost entirely positive feedback on our Eugene sole, and we're looking at continuing to expand into other colors and compositions. This is about as military spec as you're gonna get in a boot. Between the Truman Eugene sole and the dark Coyote Roughout on the upper, this is a boot that can take you through the desert and up the mountains. A little bit on the specs. So we've got a 260-degree Goodyear welt. We've got a back pull loop here. Very sleek though. It doesn't jut out. It doesn't stick out or protrude so much that it would catch your pant leg. So that's smart. I like that new feature that they've installed. The cap toe is triple stitched down in Truman fashion. really happy with Truman. I love to see the direction that they're going in these days. I'm also quite happy and proud that I was finally able to land an interview with Vince on my channel. I will leave a link to that in the description below. I had a real boot talk with Vince. He's a super cool guy, super smart, hard worker. His product really, to me, speaks for itself. He's very much an entrepreneur, and he very much believes in forging his own path in life. This is one thing that I really respect about him. You know, he has his own farm, he grows his own food, he raises his own livestock. He's extremely resourceful, extremely industrious, and, you know, I can't help but, like, want to aspire to that sort of lifestyle one day, personally, myself. I think it's an inspiration to see someone like him doing what he's doing. The quality of his boots, in my opinion, they really speak for themselves. You just look at them, and it's a reflection of the hard work and the dedication and the nuanced passion for leather that he has. For that reason, I really love Truman. You guys know that. It's no secret. They've been releasing just incredible boots from day one and getting better and better at it over time. And with that, we'll shut it down. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Let's keep the love of boots alive. Stay tuned. I have a lot more boot videos coming up. I will see y'all in my next video.